안녕하세요. Hi, Korea. I'm Nick White. I'm co-founder of Harmony, and I'm looking forward to talking today about adoption. I think it's really cool to come on stage after all of this talk about regulation and the countries around the world that are actually looking at bringing blockchain to mainstream adoption. And that's actually what Harmony is about. So let me dive in. This is where we started back in May 2018. We were just a group of ex-Google, ex-Apple, and ex-Amazon engineers witnessing the breakthroughs of Bitcoin and Ethereum, but realizing that the fundamental limitations of blockchain infrastructure was not going to allow the full expression of the potential of blockchain as a technology platform. So we thought about one thing, and that is, how can we build a blockchain for massive mainstream adoption? And in thinking about this, well, before we go any further, actually, I want to say this is a meme that our community made of me. It's kind of funny, but as an engineer myself, I spend a lot of time thinking about numbers, lots and lots of numbers. So I'm going to use numbers as a sort of an anchor, a vehicle in this talk to describe adoption and Harmony strategy. So when it comes to designing a blockchain for mass adoption, we think there are three key features that we need to hit. And those are scalability. You need lots of throughput to allow many users to use the platform. Low latency, you want to have a good user experience. You don't want to be sitting around for an hour or even 15 minutes for your block to be, for your transaction to be approved. And third, low cost. You want the blockchain to be economical to use. And 3 is also an important number in terms of the blockchain trilemma. And we actually think that the blockchain trilemma is not impossible. In fact, when we looked at it, we realized that in order to solve it, we just had to bring the best research to production. And that's what we've done. We call it deep sharding. So deep sharding is this concept of combining state sharding, which allows you to increase throughput, with optimizations at the networking and consensus layers. And that maximizes the performance of the chain. And so some tech highlights are that we combine VRFs and VDFs to create randomness. We use rateless erasure code to accelerate block propagation, and BLS multi-signatures to enhance our PBFT consensus. But all that's kind of jargon, and that's not what we're really talking about today. But what is important is that in an internal testnet, we were able to achieve 118,000 transactions per second with an average latency of 5 seconds. So this architecture, we feel, does address the problems of scalability and latency. But what about cost? So this number is 24 cents. This is the average transaction fee on Ethereum. And this is a really important number because we feel that in order for us to reach mass adoption for blockchain, we need to reduce this number significantly by 1,000 times or more. And so that's why we've adopted proof of stake, because proof of stake allows you to secure your chain without burning electricity, so that the operation of the network can be much cheaper. And furthermore, we designed our network such that you can run a node on a laptop. And that's important because even someone anywhere in the world can run a node, and also the cost of operating is much lower. And this is important because we kind of demonstrated that this also drives mass adoption for validators as well, not just users. This is a map of Pangaea, which is an experiment we did with our global community, where we had people from all around the world run a node for the first time. And you can see all the different cities where people were running a node. Africa, South America, even there's a place called Ponta Delgada in the middle of the Atlantic. It's actually in Portugal where they're running a node. And I have a bit of a sore spot because I'm from Hawaii, and there's actually no Hawaii node. So next time, I'm going to make sure someone in Hawaii is running a node. But here's some of the stats. We had 2,000 signups, 96 different countries, and most people is their first time running a node. But anyway, we feel like we've achieved these 3 key features, but that's not why we're here today. I'm not here today to give you another talk about some really fast blockchain that's going to change the world, or the one blockchain to rule them all, because we've heard that way too many times already. I'm here to talk about, is anyone really using it? And frankly, the truth is that, in my opinion, technology is meaningless without adoption. Adoption is what makes technology have its impact. And the other truth that is that most of our protocols don't have the luxury of being the first mover. Ethereum is synonymous with smart contracts in the same way that Bitcoin is synonymous with cryptocurrency, because it was the first platform to do this. And because of that, they are sort of the go-to. They have all the assets, they have all the layer 2 protocols. So how is it that a new protocol like Harmony can actually build a defensible moat, build an ecosystem of our own? And so that's what I want to talk about. What is our strategy for this? And our strategy actually comes in two sort of primary points. The first is we focus on high-growth applications. First is gaming. We think gaming has a big potential because there aren't any regulatory hurdles. I know we just heard a lot of things about regulation, but that's in certain pockets, and it's still slow. Gaming has no barriers. And data, we feel, has great potential because blockchain, as you were just hearing, allows users to take control and ownership of their data and monetize it in new ways. And finally, finance. It's sort of the fundamental application of blockchain if you think about Bitcoin and decentralized finance. So, and next, we target something that we call adoption shortcut, which is rather than trying to build everything from scratch, we want to work with companies that have pre-existing users. And many times, these companies also can't use existing infrastructure because it's not scalable enough. So there's really a sweet spot there. So this involves applications that have already lots of users on existing protocols and are struggling with the scalability of that network, or also established companies that don't yet use blockchain, but could use blockchain to improve their product or service. And so we've been working on this for the past 2 months, and I'm excited to share our progress so far. First, on the gaming side, we've been working very closely with a partner named Animoca. They're veterans of the mobile gaming space, but they've been making big strides, investments and acquisitions in blockchain gaming. And in fact, we participated with them in acquisition of Quidd, which is a global collectible platform. And they have over 7 million collectors worldwide, with 325 major brands, including NBA, Marvel, Game of Thrones, Disney. And we're really excited to be working with Quidd to apply blockchain in new ways that enables new business models for them. I don't know if you guys have heard of non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, but they're a really exciting application to this whole digital art, digital collectible space. And this is a great example of a company that is not yet using blockchain, and it's 6 transactions per second, wouldn't be able to operate on a network like Ethereum, but Harmony is the perfect place. And secondly, we're working with Limpo, which is a health fitness tracking app. And Limpo uses its limb tokens to incentivize people to complete fitness challenges. And they were originally operating on an Ethereum network, but again, they were growing so quickly, now they have almost 300,000 users, that the Ethereum network was not able to actually sustain and provide the utility that they need. So, and you actually imagine 5.4 million fitness challenges. You have to pay each one of those in an individual transaction, and each transaction fee is 20 cents. You're looking at already $1 million in fees alone just to operate on Ethereum. And so Limpo will be migrating to Harmony. And so this is a great example of an existing DApp that needs a scalable platform and can bring all their users over to Harmony. And most excitingly, Limpo is also very focused on data as a use case. They think that fitness tracking and health tracking, they can enable the user to monetize their data in terms of to advertisers or to insurers in new ways. And we're excited to explore this whole new realm of possibilities with data and new business models that blockchain can enable. And finally, we're working with a company called Carbon on building the key financial infrastructure for our blockchain. So they will be integrating a fiat on-ramp that allows users to onboard very quickly into our network. And second of all, they'll be issuing a stablecoin. And the stablecoin is really important because it's the sort of fundamental key piece for a lot of financial applications that can be built on top. And so anyway, in conclusion, I want to come back to the only number that really matters. And that number is 1. Blockchain is, computer science is all about ones and zeros. But the number 1 has a very special place. And to us, one is a very good metaphor for blockchain because if you think about it, one both means an individual and the whole at the same time. And in blockchain, nodes are each individuals, but they're coming to consensus around one single point of truth. And furthermore, it's also a metaphor for what blockchain can enable in society. It can enable more sovereignty for individuals, like you all, but it can also enable us to coexist more peacefully as a greater whole. And so that's what we really believe in. And in an age where we can't really trust financial institutions and we can't trust the internet giants to have our best interests at heart, we think of blockchain as something that can really defend our humanity. And that's why we call ourselves the blockchain for humans. We want to defend our rights and be the thing that protects our humanity in the digital age. So thank you very much for listening. I hope if you resonate with this and you want to work with us, follow us on Twitter, join our Discord, and you can be the one. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.